Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
Let's face it, when it comes to our vehicles, we all want more these days. More quality, more service, and more choices. So who's delivering more? It's gotta be Final Finish, South Central Kentucky's premier body shop. But Final Finish is different. Sure, they'll work with your insurance company, including AAA, to repair your ride after an accident. But their indoor facilities also accommodate semi-trucks and school buses. And they offer Rhino linings and powder coating. Visit them on Gardner Lane in Morgantown and online at finalfinishusa.com. Final Finish, more than just a body shop.
You know, Final Finish really is more than just a body shop. They restored my ultra-cool vintage glider with sandblasting and powder coating. Powder coating looks like paint but acts like armor. They can sandblast and paint or powder coat virtually anything, from classic car parts to patio furniture and porch railings. Final Finish, more than just a body shop, on Gardner Lane in Morgantown.
Let's face it, when it comes to our vehicles, we all want more these days. More quality, more service, and more choices. So who's delivering more? It's gotta be Final Finish, South Central Kentucky's premier body shop. But Final Finish is different. Sure, they'll work with your insurance company, including AAA, to repair your ride after an accident. But their indoor facilities also accommodate semi-trucks and school buses. And they offer Rhino linings and powder coating. Visit them on Gardner Lane in Morgantown and online at finalfinishusa.com. Final Finish, more than just a body shop.
You know, Final Finish really is more than just a body shop. They restored my ultra-cool vintage glider with sandblasting and powder coating. Powder coating looks like paint but acts like armor. They can sandblast and paint or powder coat virtually anything, from classic car parts to patio furniture and porch railings. Final Finish, more than just a body shop, on Gardner Lane in Morgantown.
All right, guys, we can go all over the Hot Rod Reunion. We will not come up on a greater legend anywhere in the place, a gentleman that is known worldwide that needs no introduction, but I'm going to try to do the best I can, okay? The one and only, Mr. Don Gartlitz. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Nice to be here. Nice to be above the grass.
Always good to be above ground.
That's it.
Let me ask you something. A lot of people don't know this, but I've been around a day or two. Are UFOs real? Are UFOs real?
Yes, they are. I told a guy that they asked me, he said, "Do you believe in UFOs?" I said, "No, I don't believe in them. I know about them."
That's where I was getting to, and you don't remember this, but I sat and talked to you in Atlanta one time at a rain out, and I had an old funny car, and we were eating pizza, and you explained that to me. And I've never forgotten it, and I've looked at that completely different since I heard that from you.
Yeah, over the years, see, I've seen enough of them at different times and different places to know that it wasn't something that we built. Way back in '69, I saw one near the White Patterson that just was a big disc in the sky just over the treetops. I mean, that thing turned into just a spot so quick as it went into deep space, you wouldn't believe it. So, you know, we didn't build stuff like that. We ain't building it today.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting, and you're a smart fella. I mean, a lot of people know how smart you are in drag racing, but they don't know the real Don Gartlitz and the stuff that you're a very well-educated gentleman on a lot of different subjects. And I think it's cool to get to spend a couple of minutes and talk to you.
Yeah, you know, there's two subjects, archaeology and which in UFOs go together like ham and eggs, and then the economy. I'm talking about the world economy, not the economy in any different region. I've
Right.
studied that all my life. I have a complete library, more books than you'd be required to read if you had a professorship. I know about these things, and there's some things you just can't gloss over, even though they try it. The government tries to gloss everything over, but the economy is one of my really, because I am an accountant by trade. I have a diploma in accounting, and it's just numbers.
CPA, isn't it? Isn't it a CPA degree?
No, I don't have it. Nothing like that. Just a plain degree. But that's enough to get you started.
Yeah, I guess that's enough to get. That's enough you get to figure out how to keep your dollars together.
Well, that's exactly right. That's why everything I do turns a bottom line. I don't do nothing unless there's a bottom line to it, and people don't understand that. I remember Shirley accused me one time, said, "If you're so damn rich, how come you ain't got a new truck, a new trailer, new uniforms?" I said, "Because, honey, I'm buying commercial real estate with the money."
Yeah, and everybody, guys, if you have not been to the Gone Gartlett's Museum of Drag Racing right out of Ocala, you need to go. It is, if you're not a drag race fan, you will be by the time you leave there.
Well, all you got to do is carry anything about automobiles, and you'll like it, because we trace the automobile back to the 1900s in a separate museum, and then, of course, we trace drag racing back to the 40s. We have the original dragster that was called a rail when Dick Kraft took the body off of it in 1949 at Santa Ana. We have the car. He never got rid of it. He saved it, and he gave it to the museum before he died.
Well, I tell you what, I've been every time we get anywhere close, that is a must stop for us and a must go. I don't care if you've been through it 20 times. It's cool every time.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are always changing in the first place, and we've always added so much more. We just added a 7,500 square foot building. I give private tours now when I'm there and take you in, show you engines. I have a couple of Arden flathead Ford. That's a Hemi conversion for a flathead Ford. I have several of them that run that the people can actually see me start them up. They're on run stands, and I've been doing that, and I've got tons of stuff. Just all kinds of interesting things.
I believe the last time I was there, you came down in a 50 Mercury, the best of my memory. Really a good-looking chop-top car. I mean, it was sharp. I liked it.
Yeah, that was Fonz's car from the Happy Days show. It was Rudy's Green Flame on the show, and when I got it, it was stripped to the metal, so I didn't put it back like that. I didn't care for the green flames. And it had an Oldsmobile engine in it, and I took that out, put a Hemi in it, and painted it to suit myself. And I drove it a lot. I'm not driving it right now. I restore a car, and then I'll put maybe 10,000 miles on it. Then I'll get another one. And I'm finishing up on a 42 Ford Coupe, which I drive a lot. It's a total frame off, but I'm working on a 27T Roadster right now with an Arden flathead in it. That'll be my next driver.
Well, I tell you what, it's always a trip to get to go there, and an honor for us to get to talk to you on this radio show and tell you, I wish you had been the senator. Then, you know what I mean, when you ran for that deal, was it Congress or Senate, or which one was it?
It was Congress in 1994, and it's probably a good thing I didn't win that. I'd probably be dead by now.
Well, now you're not corrupt enough to be there.
My own congressman told me that, because I was running in a different district, and he said, "Why didn't you lie a little?" I said, "Cliff, we were on first name basis." I said, "I was trying to take the high road." He said, "Oh, you take the high road if you get up there. That is, if you want to."
Well, you know, when all that was going on and you were running, I wondered, I said, how in the world is he going to be a political office? I said, this guy is an honest, straight guy. He won't fit in with those boys.
Well, I would have been a Ron Paul, and they'd called me Dr. No, like
Yeah,
they did him. And look how he was ostracized from everything. Man should have been the next president of the United States. He was the best man for the job, but he wouldn't have been able to do anything. The entire Congress and Senate and the Justice Department, the whole bunch is totally corrupt. We are actually living under the most corrupt regime that this planet has ever seen. And the wars, we've killed more people than all of them put together.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
mean,
and I don't understand why.
Iraq right now. What all those guys that died in Iraq?
What's the
they're
point?
running over Baghdad right now.
Well, you know, those guys have fought for 1,000 years. There's nothing we're going to do
No.
that's going to change that.
Let them fight.
Sure.
I mean, If there wasn't any oil there, you wouldn't even read one word about it in the newspaper.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
But you know what the deal is? We got more oil than they got. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
But what they're doing, as long as we can trade paper dollars for their oil and save ours, that's just exactly what we're going to do, because the oil will eventually run out, and then we'll have our own oil.
So that you think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
as long as
okay.
they'll give us oil for paper. Now, I guarantee you we'd never buy another drop of oil if they said all your oil will now have to be paid for in gold. That'd be
yeah.
the end of buying the oil. We'd be drilling for our own tomorrow.
All right, you're the and we should be talking drag racing sitting here at the
I
Hot
know
Rod
we should
Reunion,
be instead of
but that's
economics.
okay. But no, we shouldn't, because is there a chance of getting it straightened out? It's all right. It'll be all right. Is there a chance of it straightening itself out? Will that happen? Or
Of straightening it out?
yes,
No, it's beyond the tipping point.
Okay.
What we've done here with this country, we've allowed too many people to come into the country and too many people to breed that don't produce. And the producers are getting less and less, and it's making it harder and harder to get by. And I don't think we can do anything about that. We just have to let it run itself out, pay the penalty, which is going to be mean. When I say mean, we're talking blood in the streets, and the strong will come through that.
Well, I tell you what, I could spend days talking to you, because not only I have the utmost respect for everything that you have done throughout your career, but I have respect for Don Gartlett's knowledge as well as the racing knowledge. And
You mentioned my electric dragster.
I hadn't yet. I was going to.
Okay.
Did it run 200?
Not yet.
It
184. We've had a little trouble with it, but we will go 200. We're trying to do something that will help the sport in the future, long term, something that's sustainable over a long period of time. Anybody that would watch drag racing today would realize that Top Fuel and Funny Car is not sustainable, not the attrition that they have, and we're going to have something to take their place. Now, plus, we live with a problem that the Environmental Protection Agency or Homeland Security could cancel Top Fuel and Funny Car tomorrow with a stroke of a felt pen, and they might. So you got to be ready for that.
Well, I tell you what, there's nobody on the planet that could get it ready as well as you. I believe that you could figure out a way to engineer a marble that where you would be able to win in a marble contest better than anybody else on the planet. You know.
Well, that may be a little bit exaggerated, but
I don't. That was just an example.
I do focus on what I want to do, so
well,
that I stay focused on it. That's a good part. You know, I tell young people that one: do what you love and stay focused.
That's a fact. I agree 100%, guys. As bad as I hate to, he's letting his ice cream melt, and that's the cardinal sin. I know. That's how he's judging.
You're going to have to buy me another one.
Well, I can do that, buddy. I got about that much money left, and I know you'll work out my economic situation where I probably can buy two of them, but that'll be okay. But the gentlemen, guys, we always, on this radio show, we always save the very best for last, and that is what we have done. The gentleman that needs no introduction to anybody that has even a remote clue of what drag racing is. This guy is drag racing. You are the man that has you couldn't fill up everything you've done in 4 or 5 radio shows.
No.
It would, no, really.
They got 5 books that are written about it all.
Well, and they probably don't tell it all.
No, they sure don't.
They can't. First, let me give you our condolences on Miss Gartlett's. She was a very nice lady. I had the pleasure of meeting her one time.
Yeah, 61 years, great woman.
Yes, very nice lady. Much better than you or I either deserve to know.
Oh, yeah, we didn't deserve nothing like that.
No.
That's true.
Secondly, thank you for everything that you've done to keep these guys safe. The innovations that you have done and you have caused to be done to make it safe for these guys to go out and do what they love.
Well, I made it safer for myself.
I understand
or else
that.
I wouldn't be here.
I understand that, but think about all the people that followed that and you're the cause, okay? Third, thank you for entertaining the millions of people that you have in this world that have enjoyed watching you do what you love and do so well. And last but not least, thanks for just being a good guy.
Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Well, the one and only, guys, and I got to go because he's going to eat too doggone much ice cream, and I won't be able to afford to buy it. But the one and only Mr. Don Gartlitz, thank you for being on Event Radio. It has been our honor. It has been our pleasure, and we look forward to about 1 million more interviews. How about that?
Thank you.
All righty. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, you're back on Event Radio, and you never know who you're going to meet at the Thunder on the Square car show. But we run into a gentleman that probably a lot of you all, if this was TV, you'd be up here lined up to get autographs. But on the radio, they can't see you, man. That's what it is. But actually, what we consider to be the absolute best golfer in the world right now, Mr. Kenny Perry. And the cool thing is that you're a car guy.
Definitely. Golf has given me a life to where I can actually enjoy my passion. Everybody, most people work to go play golf. I play golf to go play with cars.
I know you do.
And I've done it for 30 years, been on the tour a long time. I'm tired of it, and I'm just now starting to really get my cars out in collection and go to some car shows and roll with my buddy Randall Carver up here in his 67 little all-original, unrestored pickup truck, and we're just here enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Hey, there ain't no reason you shouldn't have fun like the rest of us, buddy. Just because you entertain the rest of us on TV, I mean, give me a break. The thing about it's like you said earlier, everybody can be a car guy. Not everybody can be a pro golfer. And that's probably a good thing. If you saw me play, you'd probably quit. But
I'd probably want to play against you.
That would be the total insult and embarrassment right there. My only claim to fame is I can play however many holes I have balls. In other words, if it's a par 3, odds are I'm going to make that with about 6 balls. But I enjoy watching you because you're a master at your game, sir, and I appreciate that. Because I can realize how much talent it takes to do it. Well,
I've been very fortunate. I've not been hurt. I had a great passion for it. I told Dad when I was 7 years old I was going to play the PGA Tour. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was bred into me or it was my passion, and that's all I ever wanted to do. I drank it, I slept it. I was going to play the PGA Tour, and that's what I tell people. I'm from Franklin, Kentucky. It was a town of 8,500 people, 9-hole golf course. I didn't really have the facilities. You wouldn't think a lot of these people, they go to these big courses in Florida or whatever. But, if you want it bad enough and you work at it hard enough, your dreams can come true. And I'm not going to say everybody's dream's going to come true, but I have actually lived out my dream.
Well, the American dream is just what it is. In this country, we're very fortunate that if you work hard enough and you believe enough in yourself and what you're going to do, you can do it. I mean, I heard a long time ago, a guy told me, he said, no matter whether you think you can or you can't, either way you're right. And which is true.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
yes,
it's true. You having fun down here today?
I am. I just rolled in. I went to church, and then we're just a little 30-minute ride from Franklin. And we haven't ever been to this little car show. We heard it was a good show, so I was excited to get over here and check out some hot rods.
Have you ever been to Summer Nights Cruise in Somerset?
I've been to Somerset one time, but they have it's like once a month.
Once a month, yeah.
Yeah, I went one time, and I loved it. It was great.
It is absolutely it's unbelievable that those guys are as organized and as they moved in. We went over and did a radio show there. They moved in 1,250 cars in 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That's
They're
awesome.
on their game.
They're ready.
They're ready. It's our honor and our pleasure to have you join us on Event Radio. And guys, if you want to go play this gentleman's golf course and you're, I doubt they'd let somebody like me on there, but Country Creek Golf Course in Franklin, Kentucky, it's right on the interstate. You can't miss it. You just get off there and do a couple of turns, and you're right there. But it is a gorgeous facility. It's absolutely beautiful, and please take the time to go and stop there on your treks to back and forth in Kentucky. Where anytime you come down I-65, your place is a sure enough place to stop and see.
Been very fortunate. It's 20 years old now. My dream and my desire was to kind of give something back to Franklin, Kentucky, and I felt as a kid growing up, if you weren't a member of the country club, which was the only place to play golf, that you couldn't play golf, you had to drive to Nashville, Bowling Green. So that was my passion, was to build a golf course there and a little muni, and I have a lot of high school teams even from Tennessee. East Robertson comes and plays all their matches there. And we have, the Western and boys and girls college team comes and plays there. So, my goal was to give back to people who couldn't afford it and give them some place to go and learn, give them the passion that I had for the game of golf.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous place. And like I say, I've been there, and I had a buddy that worked for you a little bit, and I had asked him several times. He said, well, I'm sure Kenny'd be on the radio if you just catch him there. And I said, well, that's a good chance of doing. So I actually get to round you up in Russellville, Kentucky, and I appreciate so much you taking the time to spend a few minutes with us. We know this is a day for you to have fun, and you didn't really want to get a microphone stuffed in your face, but, opportunity strikes. See, you got to appreciate
That's
that.
right.
You got to take it.
Got to go for it.
Guys, the one and only, our favorite golfer in the world, and continues to be, and probably is the best golfer all in all in the world, Mr. Kenny Perry. Thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome.
All right, guys, we're at the fun deal in Russellville, Kentucky, and we will be back.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact-resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
All right, guys, when you drive through the pits at the Hot Rod Reunion, there is a special area that you go, and you run up on. I run up on an old friend that the minute they fire these cars, no matter where you are at the fence to watch them. We are in the fuel-altered pit area. My good friend, Mr. Ron Hope, the driver of the Rat Pack. How are you, sir? Rat Trap. I'm sorry, I'm brain
That's
dead
okay.
today.
We answer to any name, actually.
Let me ask you something. When we talked to you last year here, and you had a car on the water going somewhere to race across the pond.
We did. At that time, we actually have the Rat Trap. We have 3 identical cars.
Okay.
And they're all insert, and we did that simply because we do have some commitments that are offshore. And we have one actually coming up in 2 weeks' time. We will be once again at Goodwood Festival of Speed.
I think that's where you were going last time.
It was. And this is our 4th time there. And our good friend, Lord Charles March, who very capably puts on that just very prestigious event, has invited us back.
Well, he must like you there, huh?
Well, I hope so.
Has he knighted you yet, or
no,
anything?
And chances are I won't be.
You don't think he's going to knight you?
No, I think that's probably out of the question. But this year,
it did Elton John. You put on as good a show probably as he does.
You never know.
There you go.
This year, in addition to going to Goodwood, the car is actually remaining there because we have a match race with the Pure Hell car.
Okay, Rich.
At Santa Pod.
Uh-huh.
And that is coming up on the 12th and 13th of July, actually. And what is really interesting about that is my son Brian is driving that car.
Really? That's
Yes.
cool. So you all right, let me ask you something. Does Dad, you've done this so long that you could do this in your sleep. Does Dad coach him a lot?
I tell him this. When the light goes green, count to 3. English or Spanish, I don't care.
Okay.
And then go. But he doesn't do that. In fact, we have raced once so far.
Oh, okay.
And because I was actually more than asleep on the light, he was able. So in England, I'm hoping to even the score and get a little ahead of it.
There you go. There you go. And then you talk smack for a long, long time after that.
For a long time.
Yeah,
but that's okay. At the end of the day, we all have to be able to go to Thanksgiving dinner together.
That's right. That's right.
So,
now, don't you have a daughter that does a Bonneville car?
Actually, that is Brian's daughter. That's my granddaughter.
Granddaughter, okay.
She is the oldest of 18 grandbabies.
See, I was trying to make you younger than you really were.
Well, I know. I hate to tell you this. I hate to even mention this, but I will.
Okay, that's all right.
On Monday,
next
Monday, I will reach another landmark in terms of age.
Oh, you're going to be 50?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Plus
right.
a few.
Plus a few, all right.
Yeah, but you know what? When you have the helmet on and the fire suit and you're all strapped in that car, it doesn't matter
Hey,
if
you're
70
18.
or 18.
You're 18 forever, buddy. 18 forever.
Perpetually.
Let me ask you something, and you may not even be able to remember this back this long. What was your very first ride like in a fuel altered?
Well,
Anything memorable there?
the only thing
Has to be.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is I think amazed at. One is you realize how short those cars are when you're standing outside looking at them, but when you're actually in the car at the hit of the throttle, it becomes very clear as to how short that car is.
In other words, it tells you who the real boss is.
Yes,
is that
it does. That indeed it does. And but I think they are still the most exciting cars in drag racing, and we just love. We have 19 events this year that we will appear at, and I'll tell you, the fans that come to us, that's really what makes it worthwhile, and we get such great comments from the fans who talk about how they enjoy the cars, how animated they are, the excitement of every run.
Well, you sure don't get bored, guys, watching a fuel altered. If you, I tell you what, it is probably, we've been around this stuff a long, long time, and whatever we're doing, we actually quit what we're doing to watch a fuel altered race.
Thank you. That's very kind. They make us start in separate lanes.
Yeah, it doesn't end up that way, though, does it?
Beyond that, it's pretty much open territory.
Let me ask you, have you ever had a ride that actually scares you?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, I know you respect all of them. I know that.
I think probably, to be fair, the closest to being really feeling that it was going to be really, really ugly came actually just about 2.5 months ago in Tucson.
Really?
I was racing Ron Maroney on a Saturday night, and both cars wound up first in the lane that I started in. He came across, and then as we both kind of struggled to get right, where we should be, I wound up in his lane, and I at one point recall seeing my left front tire inside of his right front tire.
That would have not been pretty.
I thought that this is going to be really,
this
really
is going to
ugly.
be exciting.
But how, I don't pretend to know, but they unwound themselves, and while I did scrape the wall, not hit the wall, but scrape the wall.
Well, that's okay. That's all right.
That's, as Bob Fry says in fuel-altered racing, that's considered close to the wall.
Yeah, okay, I can understand that.
But anyway, that probably becomes the closest. Anyone that tells you that they don't respect these cars that drives them is probably lying to you.
You want to stay away from them. There's no doubt.
You have to have a degree of respect for a car that has that horsepower and the capability that it does, and it's obviously short wheelbase makes it challenging.
Well, I tell you, my friend, you make a lot of people at these events really happy. You put a memory in their brain that they never forget because you put on quite a show. You are the headliner, my friend, and whether you want to admit it or not, you are. And we appreciate you for the second time of taking time to be on Event Radio.
Well, I can't tell you how honored I am to have this opportunity and how much I appreciate everyone that comes out to see us and the NHRA for having this tremendous event here.
Well, guys, we're gonna get out of here and let Ron go. He's probably got 1 million people that want autographs and all that stuff, but we commandeered him away, and he is always so gracious to be nice to us at Event Radio. We're going to run around and see what we can get into, and we will be right back.
Thank you.
Guys, we are back, and this one will be for the books, I promise you. This is the absolute premier interview that we will get to do all day long and all night long. Our buddy, the one and only, the gentleman that needs no introduction at all. If you are here and you see him on TV, the one and only Mr. Army Armstrong has joined us. Army is in the house, and we are so proud. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I tell you what, it's good seeing you, T. It's good to seeing you over there. We're still going to get some speedway motorcycle racing.
All right.
Eventually, something's going to happen there, but it's good seeing you. Last time I saw you, as a matter of fact, was over here last year.
Well, that's the only reason I come over here is to see you.
Well, I appreciate.
I've learned a lot about you. See, I've learned a lot about you. That when you start talking to the city officials, in this city, I met the mayor, buddy, and he said, "You know Army Armstrong?" I said, "Yeah, I believe I do." He's
no,
the premier.
what?
I said, "Am I supposed to say yes or no?" No. I tell you what. You are a credit to this city, my friend.
Oh, well, that's awful nice of you.
Well, no, it's true. It's really true. Your talent, your antics, your things, your promotional events. You're one of the reasons Owensboro is on the map, my friend.
Well, I was looking the other day in Hot Rod Magazine, just thumbing through. We never throw them away. We keep them. And I remember it said the biggest bang of all, and it was a 4-page color ad on Owensboro, Kentucky, when we used to have the Sports Truck Nationals here.
Yeah, I remember.
And I thought, man, if somebody had to pay for that many column inches, it would have cost a ton.
Well, I came to one of those, and it was a great show.
Oh, it was a happening, yeah.
Matter of fact, that's what got me turned on to lowering a Suburban. It's the first one I ever saw that was sitting down on the ground, and then I figured, boy, your fat butt could get in and out of one of these easier if you did that. So that's why I do what I do.
Well, I tell you, my wife, that's one of the reasons we did it. We had the truck was a normal size off the ground. Now, this is something I never thought about. T, I guess you didn't. I bet you didn't either. As soon as we lowered that truck, she wasn't interested in my truck at all.
Yeah.
As soon as we lowered it, couldn't get her out of it because a woman is aware, and I can understand her now, about climbing in and out of a truck.
Well, sure.
Yeah. So guys go over and throw her leg up there and go up there and hit the AM radio station and listen to religious music. But a woman, a woman's got to, got to be aware of that. So all you guys out there that want to lower your truck, it might be a good way to get this thing done.
We call that in the early days a crow shot.
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah,
there you go.
But it really does, and it makes it even more pleasurable to drive when you can sort of, especially if you're a height challenge guy like me with too big a belly, to climb in and out, and it's cool that way.
Well, I tell you, I noticed your truck outside a while ago. If you ever get in a philanthropic mood or anything, that is a beautiful piece of equipment.
Thank you.
Bob Taylor did some work on it for you.
He's done the last 3. Yeah,
Has he? Well, the boy's got some talent.
Boy, doesn't he? I tell you what. He goes at it so effortless. It makes me mad when I watch him. And I know you're an artist too.
Well,
so
did you ever read the book on him? It's interesting as can be. I went in. One of the first things he ever taught me was how to paint with the Pepsi case.
Yeah.
You go, what? He said, oh yeah, you set it this way, just set it like that, and you set it this way, and you can turn it on the end and set it that way. And I thought, that's a stroke of genius. You don't need a chair. You got the crate,
Yeah.
And I think he may have learned that. He was a driver for Pepsi.
Yeah.
It may have been where he learned it. I'm not sure.
He did a lot. He wore a lot of hats, and with his drive-in cleaning and all the things. And we had him on this show last year because he was an inductee last year into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was.
And Bob's just a wonderful guy. And boy, there's no more talented man on the planet. Except maybe you.
Well,
the only one.
No, I tell you what, and Bob passed that on to his son Danny, who is just a phenomenal artist too.
Oh,
and I don't know how many magazine covers that Danny has, but you can't go anywhere. When I go places and tell people where I'm from, they kind of tie Owensboro and Bowling Green together. Say, oh yeah, I was at Sports National just south of Owensboro. And Danny and Bob's name come up all the time.
Well, he paid you the supreme compliment on this show, and you don't know it. But he said that his best piece of work he ever did was the wood grain on your Nash hot rod. And he said, because I found a termite on it. And he said, when I found a termite from my building, landed on that car and actually thought that was wood, he said, now that's a compliment right there,
well, And I walked into the shop, and of course it was real quiet, so I thought something's going on, I kind of felt like Custer there. I was looking around seeing what's going to happen. And what he had done is he had taken a piece of paper and taken a push pin and taken the pin out of the push pin and just glued it to the paper and glued the paper to the wood, would look like wood.
Yeah.
And then put underneath it, put a lot of little dust and everything. And I saw that, and I swear to God, I thought that I did. And
He did some
they're
cool
over
stuff.
There, yeah, they're just over rolling on the floor, you know.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, gee, man, but
Well, he paid you the compliment that he is more prouder of that work than I believe anything that he did, and rightly so. I mean, you're an accomplished artist yourself, and as far as painting, and you're very modest, not to say that, but what Sprint Car Hall of Fame has your stuff?
Yeah, Motorcycle Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
and but I'm just like you. We're all doing something we love.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll get out sometime and work. I even went through a phase about 2 years ago where I was building doll houses and sending them giving them to the girls whose dads are overseas.
Right.
And you stop and you think, man, that's a lot of work. You go like, no, Dad had a lot of work. I had it pretty easy
How
here.
cool is that?
And that was kind of a neat deal to help these kids and everything.
Well,
And
you've been into your girls anyway, buddy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you learned about girl stuff.
Well, I've
you
got
know?
one down at Western now. I
Uh-huh.
need to get you squared away. And my other one, just getting ready to graduate from senior high.
Okay.
Homecoming queen.
Oh, imagine that, yeah.
All regional basketball team. And
Driving Dad crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All
Oh,
the
yeah,
boys,
yeah.
yeah, I can understand it.
Well,
Well,
see-
about time you were paid back a little.
It comes around, goes around.
Yeah,
perhaps.
boy, I'm
True,
telling
yeah.
you. Yeah, they you got paid back, buddy.
But see, both my I have two basic families. I got Shane. She just moved back here from California. She's
Right.
a doctor. And then Mason is my son that works on ESPN, the motorsports for
Right.
NHRA. And then Lynn and I adopted two children when I was 50. And that's been a blessing to us. Everybody said, "Oh, that's really great." No, the blessing comes back to us.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah, we've worked with and worked and helped bring over 23 little girls and 7 little boys from China.
No, you're
Working
a
with-
good man, my friend, and I'm honored to be able to call you a friend.
Well, yeah, we go back a long way.
What,
that's for
don't we?
sure.
Yeah, we're both still out of jail.
Yeah, well, I got to go back. And,
Yeah, you're on work release.
Yeah, this
Statute of
ain't-
limitations.
He's
has
on.
run
Yeah,
out,
he's
so-
on work release. You
Damn
can't
it.
talk about everything he's done.
damn anklet bracelet kind of
You are crazy.
Can't go through
So
the
you're
door of the
gonna
programs.
do the inductions today.
Yeah, I got some great guys going in.
Oh, buddy, I'm telling you.
It's really, for me, this is kind of neat because, as you will know, with the exception of one of these fellows, I raced against or worked with or
Yeah.
announced with all of them, and I've had an opportunity to see them follow their dream and
Exactly.
to be able to be involved in the end of it. It's kind of a really neat thing.
Well, it's not the end of it. Don't say that
Well,
now.
you know,
Gee,
Dickie
you know.
Ogles told me he was taking up pole dancing lessons.
Yeah, well,
And-
and no, he actually helped me do a radio show one time.
Did
Believe it or not, we did the whole show with him, and I was really nervous because we had the minister at the Racers for Christ on there, and Dickie sort of interviewed him, and I was a little scared there, but it turned out really well. He did good.
Well, see, when he was down in Oklahoma City, they brought that new brass pole out.
Yeah.
He wasn't used to it, and they got it rash.
Is that what it was? Yeah,
and then they put an ointment on the rash. Well, that didn't do.
Oh,
any
it
good.
just went off the
it
pole,
did,
right?
So
No traction
what,
at all.
What he did, he took a move and tripped, and it took that pole and it wiped out. They were having a women's Baptist convention down there, and the whole front 2 rows were these little white-headed ladies or blue-haired, wiped those whole 2 rows.
Took 'em all out.
Yeah, took that brass and took them out. And I guess that's still in litigation. I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably is.
Yeah.
Guys, I told you in the beginning this one was going to be good. My buddy Army never misses a bet, never misses one.
Go ahead, T.
I said, Spiv, we're sitting in Daytona during Bike Week this past year and went to Volusia County to the half mile.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to the announcer, and I told my partner with me, I said, that man knows a lot about bikes. A lot of times I get somebody, that don't know poop from Shinola.
Yeah.
Well, this guy was doing an outstanding job, and come to find out it was Army. And I said, well, that just pretty much, I know him.
Yeah, I know
I'm
that
telling
guy.
everyone around me, I know him.
I really like motorcycle racing too, and the flat tracks is what I really get into. And there's so many young men coming out of here. I'm sitting here thinking right now, I know they're going to have a big special race of some kind, and they're going to take it's going to be a road race part and a dirt part. They're going to take
Like a triathlon type thing?
Yeah, they're going to
Isn't
take
that cool?
16 dirt riders, and then the top 8 qualify to go into. But the feature race will be run on dirt.
Oh, cool.
And any place there's a field around Owensboro, Kentucky right now, there's a kid out there riding around on that dirt.
Right.
Because what these guys do, and I didn't know this, they get the actual blueprint of that track, and they'll go build that track. They'll
Oh, yeah.
sell.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Especially them Hayden boys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And to get that's who told me. To get the gearing right and everything, and what's there to do when you get there?
Yep.
Because, Earl's boys, Nicky, Tommy, and Roger Lee, the only time 3 brothers have won 1, 2, and 3 at a race.
Springfield.
Well,
TT.
we're talking about coming over here and doing a show. If we can ever get them all together, and we're going to have 2 sets of families with my 3 sons. We're going to have David Green and his 3 boys, and Earl Hayden and his 3 boys. And I think that would be one heck of a radio show.
It's a shame that the Sterrett family passed away. They were the boat racers.
Yes,
and it is kind of interesting that Owensboro.
Yeah, it's something in the water or something.
Yeah, something comes out where they multi-racers and everything.
Yeah, boy, I mean the Waltrops. Look at how many.
There you go.
Look at how many. I mean, it's just.
You had, of course, everybody knows Daryl and Mike and Bobby he was getting involved in some racing and stuff like that. But I don't know. This town,
must be the river. You think that's what it is?
By the way, the river. Have you seen how beautiful it is?
Oh, listen, the buildings and all. Man, you guys are stepping up here.
Well, I tell you, Brian Payne and his crew they've got some foresight.
Well, I want to know when you're going to be the mayor. I think that they should elect you mayor.
You have to be able to write in script.
Well, I guess that does it. It'll never happen. That'll never happen.
First prerequisite, buddy. I'm on.
You're out. I'm
back on the bus going to
you
the
get all
farm.
these votes, and it wouldn't do a bit of good, would it?
Exactly. I do have people, believe it or not, they're writing my name in.
That's all right.
What would I do?
yeah. I say, well, he'll never be a politician. He's not crooked enough to be one.
Well, I'd let you be my wingman.
Well, boy, I tell you what, we
could
could get into some serious stuff, couldn't we?
Of course, we got T. He's the hit man.
He's the hit man of the bunch. Yeah, that's
we're
right.
We're going to bring him around. But I don't know. I've had some really, really great times with you. Like I say, going back.
Oh, I know, and that's what makes life fun, buddy.
Exactly right.
And it's sort of fun to come over here and sit back and get to relive a lot of those things and think about them. And you may not think about them all year long, but when you come in here and we get to be buddies and again and rekindle a relationship. I found some pictures that you were at a birthday party I had a long time ago.
I know where they are right now.
Do you?
Yeah, they're sitting in my toolbox, and I'm trying to reach and hand you $1.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, I know.
Something on the side that said, "No, I want a 10."
Yeah, we were working in that direction.
Yeah.
Guys, the one and only, and I can't say enough how honored I am to be able to call this gentleman a friend. He is absolutely a superstar. He is a superstar both on and off the air, and no better guy in the world than my buddy, Mr. Army Armstrong.
And one of the best motorcycle race announcers that I have heard, and I've heard a bunch of
He's good at everything.
I've heard a bunch of them, but Army got
What about the stripper pole? You going to try that?
No, oh, man, I'm allergic to that stuff, too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, Dickie doesn't have any competition.
Yeah, I had to wear them tube socks after I had Dad on.
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
That ointment stuff.
Yeah.
But listen, we're cutting up and everything, but people listening, let's keep those guys and gals that are overseas. Let's keep them in our prayers. Let me tell you, I'm a combat vet from Nam and served with the 101st, and it's scary to me because I hate to see what those youngsters are going through. And the people
they're in harm's way, guys, and trust me, take the time. If you see a veteran, walk up, stick your hand out and thank them. They have written this country a blank check payable with their life if necessary to give us the freedoms for Army and I to be here, and Army paid the price too, and I got to pay it a little, but to be able to give us the freedoms to come to the Motorsports Hall of Fame, to come to the inductions, to go to the racetracks, to listen to him cut up and on the microphone and be on TV, and even listen to this old silly radio show.
Well, it's we're so blessed, and the blessings come by being free, and the reason we're free is because, we've got young men that'll go out and young ladies and do what they have to do.
That's right. And the ones that have done it, the ones that have done it to keep it that way.
Exactly. On the second floor here, we got a memorial to a young man that died. And the one thing that I noticed, and nobody else really notices when they flew him in, it was the Coletta aircraft that brought him in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Connie Coletta's airplane, yeah. And his flight crew, Oh, it was awesome. Watch them get that young man off and the courtesy they showed to him. And I told Connie up at the Nationals, I went over and he thought I was going to say something about hot rod and racing. And I told him that story and it really got to him. I said it just meant a lot to me as a racer to see your boys.
Racers are a pretty cool bunch of people. When you have that added to the end of your name, you're a pretty good guy.
I think you are, and they're not a bad people to raise your kid around.
That's right. No, they're very good people to raise your kid around. And guys, if you have that on the end of your name, you have some big shoes to fill, and you have some big responsibilities that go with that.
Especially if you're Kentucky, because they got some heavy hitters here.
Oh, buddy, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But Army, thank you, my friend, for being on Event Radio.
It's been fun. If I'm alive, maybe next year we can get together.
Yeah, I constantly use your coined phrase, setting your hair on fire, skateboarding naked, singing Janis Joplin's Let's Burn the Courthouse Down.
Let's burn it, babe.
That's it. That is my friend.
Oh, let me tell you something. I went over to see the Beach Boys last week.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man, there's some old people over there.
That's okay.
My age.
Yeah.
They were watching them, but buddy, those guys rocked that house.
They rocked the house.
And about 2 songs in, you knew you had something going because there's only 2 of the original there. And but man, the crowd.
Oh yeah,
a lot of Hawaiian shirts. Something
I don't understand. And you listen to XM radio, and they have everybody on there, but the Beach Boys don't have a dedicated channel, and I don't understand why that is not. If anybody should have one, they should have it.
Well, the Beatles said that the Beach Boys album, I'm trying to think.
Pet
Sounds.
Yes.
Influenced their music so much.
Yeah.
Because Brian Wilson is just a genius.
Oh, yeah. He, I don't know. I think we grew up in the right time.
Well, we did.
As far as music, we did.
Yeah. As far as everything we did, I think.
It was fun. Getting rowdy was maybe a 6-pack of beer between 27 guys.
Yeah, right. We didn't get in too much trouble.
Had to be Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, with a big boy headache at the end.
Yeah.
That or you thought you could get just as crazy. We were like the people on the old Indian that says talking about daylight savings time. Who would be dumb enough to think you can chop one end off a blanket and lay it to the other and make the day longer, or make the blanket longer? But a Pabst Blue or Country Club. You remember having the Country Club malt liquor? And it was little bitty tiny cans, and you thought, boy, you were really doing something there. But I don't know. We had a lot of fun, and I for one, am tickled to grow up when we did and get to do the things we did.
I'm going to close with this. I think the 3 of us are proof you're never too old to have a happy childhood.
Oh,
and
absolutely
let's keep
not.
going. I'm serious, and
we're not quitting anytime soon.
No, I'm not planning. I volunteer for an hour every day at a local school, working with little boys that don't have dads,
Yeah.
And
that's
it's
awesome.
so neat seeing everybody say, "Oh, it's a great thing you're doing." The payback comes to me when you see that look in that little iron. And I've been doing it long enough now, 15 years, that I've got young men coming back and saying, "Mr. Armstrong, you were the only man that said something nice to me when I was going to school."
Well, you said a lot of things nice to a lot of people, my friend. And made the impression on a lot of people that you don't even know, and it's an honor.
It's been a good trip, and like I say, we'll get together again. And
we're going to watch you. We're going to go upstairs and watch you do your dog and pony show, buddy.
That'd be fine. We got to get tea. Not to talk so much.
You think that's what it is?
Yes, we got to kind of.
I work on him. I work on him.
Out of the program.
When there's girls that walk by, he can't help it.
I know.
He just looks. He doesn't talk.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Guys, the one and only Mr. Army Armstrong. It is our pleasure every year, and we look forward to coming to the Speed Zim, to seeing him and listening to his inductions. He is the absolute best that's ever been, and now you've heard him on Event Radio. We will be right back.
Thank you.
Let's face it, when it comes to our vehicles, we all want more these days. More quality, more service, and more choices. So who's delivering more? It's gotta be Final Finish, South Central Kentucky's premier body shop. But Final Finish is different. Sure, they'll work with your insurance company, including AAA, to repair your ride after an accident. But their indoor facilities also accommodate semi-trucks and school buses. And they offer Rhino linings and powder coating. Visit them on Gardner Lane in Morgantown and online at finalfinishusa.com. Final Finish, more than just a body shop.
Final Finish really is more than just a body shop. They restored my ultra cool vintage glider with sandblasting and powder coating. Powder coating looks like paint but acts like armor. They can sandblast and paint or powder coat virtually anything, from classic car parts to patio furniture and porch railings. Final Finish, more than just a body shop, on Gardner Lane in Morgantown.
All right, guys, we are back from the boat drags, and we pick the winners here, guys. We go from really good-looking women to the guy that's absolutely the bad guy on the block, the guy that he is our buddy. He is probably, all kidding aside, the smartest gentleman on the grounds here. Oh, yes, you are. Now, you be nice to me, daggone it. You paid me $20 to say all this stuff. And
got to get your money's worth.
Yeah, we want to give you your money's worth. But really, this gentleman, honestly, he has been our star for a year, and we would be a sheep-killing dog if we didn't stop and say hi to him again. Mr. Bill Delvey, sir, how in the world are you?
I'm fine. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Well, I'm a nice guy, buddy.
Thank you.
Get a little closer. Pretend like it's that good-looking woman you're married to.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right.
We're having a lot of fun. We've got a lot of family with us here today. And,
Good.
And we're having a bunch of fun. We're running a little bit too quick, but we're going to slow it down a little bit.
Now that's a shame. That's a shame when you have a problem that your stuff is too fast.
It is today. A little bit.
Well, you know that's your job, my friend. That's what you do, right?
Yes, I do.
And you build some pretty famous people's IndyCar motors, don't you?
Well, we do. We built. Right now, I'm building all the motors for the two-seater IndyCar. We're doing the IndyCar Experience motors now. So Mario Andretti drives our cars, and we give rides to hundreds and hundreds of people every day at the Speedway.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I've got to share something with you. And this happened about a week after you were in the golf cart with us. And you don't really know a lot about us. You do, you know more than most, but we are actually very fortunate on this show that we have a huge listener audience. The Tri-5 show we just did was well over 200,000 that listen to our shows.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And it's broadcast out of Los Angeles, and you know how it works. I mean, we told you.
That's great.
Last year when we had you on here, one of the shows we did to follow that was the grand opening of the new motorsports park at the Corvette Museum.
Oh, very nice.
$26 million facility.
Really nice.
Beautiful, yeah. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have. It's a beautiful place. My son actually went there, and his buddies, they took a trip down there, and they went through that.
Uh-huh. Pretty nice place to be in our hometown.
Real nice.
Well, we are actually, you don't know this, but we are actually endorsed by the Bowling Green Visitors Bureau as the voice of every event that comes into the city. We do all of the Corvette stuff. We do all of the Beach Bend stuff. We do anything that has wheels. They get us to do it.
That's great.
We do this because Sonny is our buddy, the mayor, and we had such a good time last year here.
That's good.
And so we came back again. Now, where you come in to this little picture, and this is going to be just a touch long, and I won't keep you busy, but very long. We went and did the grand opening of the motorsports park. We interviewed the head of Michelin Racing. We interviewed the head of Mobil 1. We had all of them sitting where you're sitting. We had the mayor of the city.
Very good.
We had everybody that's anybody, really. They put us on Car Guys TV in Dallas for 30-minute shows 3 times because what we do is so innovative and so just like you. We're the innovators of what we do. You're the innovator of what you do.
Thank you.
We go to Corvette Racing. Walk up and hand them a card. Their answer to us was, we don't do interviews with people like you.
Kind of hurt my feelings.
It kind of hurt our feelings a little bit. And then I'm sitting there thinking, here we have Bill Delvey in our golf cart and the accomplishment this man has made, and you poor guys haven't won a race in this country for 7 years. Who is people like us? And I couldn't help but using you, and I actually used you in front of the guys at Callaway Corvettes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we were talking to them.
They know who you are, Bill.
Oh, they know very much who you are. And we've used you an example several times because when somebody shuns you like that and you don't deserve it,
no, that's not fair.
It's not fair, and you totally remember and you want to help them every time you get, chance you get, and
that's right.
That's what we're doing.
Well, very
so
good.
we go to we want you to understand who people like us are. Number one, this gentleman that does everything for Mario Andretti, guys, didn't hesitate to come and talk to us. We were good enough for him. We evidently we're not good enough for you, but that's okay.
You guys are great.
We understand.
I remember when you guys stopped in last year. We had a great time.
Well, we go across the street to the Callaway guys, and these guys are cool, my friend. They're like you. They're cool. We tell them our little story. This guy almost lays down on the ground laughing because we told him who you were, and he knew who you were. He knew your reputation, and he's laying there crying, And I said, what is so funny? I didn't tell you that to be funny. He said, you see that's a new C7 there? And I said, yes, sir. He said, look at the license plate. It's got 228 on it. And he said, yeah. I said, yeah, 228. I said, what about it? He said, well, if you buy that car from us, we will give you a signed, certified letter that is a legit 228-mile-an-hour street car.
Wow.
And we will give you that in writing.
That's impressive.
Well, it's a twin turbo, buddy. I mean, it's a hot rod, And he said on top of that, and the reason he's laughing so hard, he said, let me tell you why I'm laughing so hard. He said, that car right there will not only outrun, it will outhandle, and it will outstop anything Corvette Racing has in their trailer with the air on and the XM radio playing, And I couldn't help but think of you and the boat. I mean, with your innovations of killing the ignition and all the things that you do. And I've told several of the turbo guys about you. Right. And one of them, a guy named Jeff Lutz. I don't know if you've ever...
I do. I've heard of him. Yeah.
Well, he is on the Street Outlaws deal. Mm-hmm. He has a 57 Chevy that runs in the low sixes at like 210 or 12 quarter mile.
Nice.
But it's a twin turbo. And when I told him about you and the ignition thing, he said, I always thought that'd work. But
it does work.
I know, and so maybe I gave away your secret, and if I did, I'm sorry.
That's okay. He's not racing boats yet.
Oh no. He can't even drink that much water. But have you been having fun?
We're having a great time. We've got a lot of family here with us, and
that's what it's about, buddy.
We're having a really, really good time, and we'll catch up with this weather, and we'll get it where we need to be by the end of the day.
Oh, no doubt about it. Hey, my friend, if you can't find it, there's not a soul here that has a prayer to do it. And you know what I think is really cool about what you have just said with family being here? That boat is not only fun to you, but it is a vehicle to bring the family together.
Absolutely.
And it's a vehicle to let you enjoy family time, and everybody's there for the same result. They want you to make the last pass with the wind light. That's what this is all about.
It is.
And they want that as much as you want that.
This is such a good group of people.
Yeah.
It's a good bunch of racers here.
Well, I want you to do me one favor before I let you go.
I'll do that.
There's a very special lady we've had everybody say happy birthday to. Bet her birthday is coming up. So, Debbie, this gentleman, as far as the racing world, you cannot get any higher than this guy. He is the bad guy not just on the block, but in the country. And when you are buddies with Mario Andretti, and to have a guy wish you a happy birthday, that's not too bad. Her name is Debbie Pitchford. So, Mr. Go ahead. You just do it.
Debbie, happy birthday. And many, many more.
There you go. Mr. Bill Delvey, you are a prince, my friend. We are honored and privileged that you would take the time to be on Event Radio with us for the second time.
Thanks very much.
We're privileged that, you would do interviews with people like us.
I enjoy it. You guys are great.
Hey, buddy, let me tell you what.
Thanks for stopping in.
We have so much fun. We're probably going to cause the fun police to come into your pit area, and we don't want that to happen. Guys, the absolute prince of boat racing, the baddest man with Indy cars that exist, and he's our buddy, and we're good enough to get an interview with him. Guys, you're on Event Radio. We're having too much fun from the Livermore boat races. Don't you go anywhere, or we'll send the Turbo Man after you. We'll be right back.
On the track or on the street, the number one brand in performance is Holley. Have you heard about the Ultra Street Avengers, Ultra Double Pumpers, Ultra HP, and Ultra Dominator carburetors? They're ultra light, ultra cool, and ultra fast. Holley carbs are the most powerful carbs money can buy with no further modifications. Holley, winning performance for over 100 years.
All right, guys, we are back from the LS Fest, and Holley's a pretty cool company. They actually sell you all the cool stuff for your hot rod, and they make it where you have fun, and then, by golly, they entertain you at night. And you can't beat that. because I actually get to talk to a superstar here. Tell everybody, go on and blow your horn.
Well, I think superstar might be overbilling it, but I'm a country singer, and my name is James Otto.
And we know who you are, and we were playing with you.
I appreciate
it. We know a little about country music.
Right on.
You know, we just live 60 miles north of Nashville.
Right
you know,
on.
we've
Very
been there
nice.
before.
Yes, absolutely. I've been here many times. So
yeah, well, Beach Bend's fun. You know, back years ago, we used to have Beach Bend was actually frequented by a lot of people from Nashville.
I'm not surprised.
One guy that I got to meet a couple of times, and I'm an old guy. See, you got to realize you're with an old guy. But a guy that was a huge fan, probably like you, of hot rods and stuff, a guy named Roy Orbison.
Oh, I love
Roy
Orbison.
Yeah, and a friend of mine sold him the 40 Ford that he had that actually burned up in his house.
Oh.
And the 57 Chevy that he had, he sold him that one too, and they turned it over drunk out somewhere having a big time. But you boys in Nashville have a lot of fun, and it's cool that a country music singer and a country music celebrity get off of it. Now I'll call you what I want to call you. You know, this ain't Nashville now, buddy.
I'll take it.
This ain't Nashville now, so I can say what I want. But really, you are a very talented gentleman.
Thank you so much.
And you're. Let me think about it. The song is. I started loving you today. I think.
Just got started loving you is.
See, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think you got me mixed up with George Jones. I think you
no,
you stopped loving her today and just got started loving you together. I think that's what happened.
No, you don't even ride a lawnmower drunk. So
yeah. By God, I think I should though. That looks like a lot of fun.
Well, I tell you what, I actually, believe it or not, I'm an old drag racer, and the Possum was he used to spend a lot of time in Muscle Shoals.
Oh yeah,
well, we raced there a lot, and I watched him get a little blind and run in and shoot up his own Lincoln once. And so he's a nice guy.
He was a wild man for sure.
And another, I've got some more strings to Nashville. A fellow by the name of Jerry Bridges, which is the lead guitarist, or was the lead guitarist for Waylon for the whole Waylon's career.
Okay,
and so we got some buddies, and we're the ones that realize you guys are real people. Like everybody else, you know.
I mean, other than I'm not completely normal as far as mind wise.
Close enough for us.
but yes, as a normal person, yes, I definitely am. I grew up with drag racers too. My dad was a drag racer and built funny cars back in the day when I was a kid, and so
really?
I grew up with Big Daddy Don Garlitz and
I know Gon,
and Shirley Muldowney as those were heroes in my house. We didn't know them personally.
Well, I did,
but I was I was a fan of that stuff growing up, and Jungle Jim and Jungle Pam, and so all that stuff's in my blood, and that's why coming to something like LS Fest is a thrill for me, because I know the history of all this stuff, and I love it. I live it. Cars are my passion outside of music.
Well, I tell you what, it's sort of like Kenny Perry, the golfer. I don't know I've had Kenny on this show, and I've had several of the people on that you talk about. I mean, Shirley, I know her well, personal friend. Yeah. Garlitz, I've had on here before.
Man,
I've had a lot of those people that you speak of.
Yeah.
And I guess we're very fortunate to do that. But Kenny Perry said, a lot of people work to play golf.
Yeah.
He said, I play golf to play with my cars.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what? That's really similar to music, and everybody's got their passion and what they do and what they really love to do. And it's certainly, I love playing music. It's my first love. It's what.
Well, you're pretty good at it, buddy.
Yeah, I truly love to do it. I really do. But outside of music, you got to have something that's outside of your work too, and that's cars for me. And it drives my wife crazy, like it all does all white.
Well, it's your evil.
Hot rodders' wives.
Hey, but trust me, you've got a white evil mistress over here.
Yes, I sure do.
That you're building.
Yes, she definitely calls it the other woman.
No, that's okay. Hey, I don't guess she'd mind you rubbing on that as much as she would one of the others.
I do rub on it a lot.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's fun, man. So you're going to put them on a great show tonight, I hope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As soon as drifting gets done with, we're going to fire it up and start rocking.
Ooh, buddy, I tell you what. I don't know if I'll get to stay because I have to go do some other stuff.
I understand.
We do this stuff everywhere. We get to introduce you to now probably 200,000 or so more fans than you had.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Hey, no, man, thank you. We get a few celebrities, but not a whole lot. No, actually, we do get quite a few. But it's fun, and what's fun for me, guys, and you've sat here and witnessed this on this show. You've seen that the guys that you see on stage that are busting their butt to entertain you, that they're real people. They're not. Even though you place them probably a little higher than maybe even you should, they are real people. They like the stuff you like. They do the stuff you do. And when it comes down to it, man, we're all car guys. And it's fun. It's a fun thing.
Yeah, I've wandered so many car shows and LS Fest in the past and try to be as anonymous as possible because I just want to go look at cars. I don't want to talk about music. I want to look at cars and talk about hot rods.
Well, that's all right, buddy. I commandeered you. Daggone it, I went and got the Holly folks to do it. And so you just got to suffer through event radio, buddy. That's the only thing, you know. But we will be good to you. We'll be nice to you.
Well,
we won't do ugly stuff, even though unless we thought it would give us higher ratings, and then we would.
Totally, let's go for it.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're looking forward to your show, and really, your reputation does precede you. You are a very talented gentleman.
Oh, thanks for the kind words.
No, hey, you're not paying me. Don't worry about it. but you really do. You I guess you would say, do your craft extremely well.
Thank you so much.
And you entertain the people, and you swoon the women, and do all that crap that all us regular guys wish we could do. You know.
Hey, all you need is a guitar, man. That's really
is that what it is?
That's
do you have to know how to play
guitar? Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, or you can act like you play it. You can. Probably, nobody don't know the difference.
We could be Milli Vanilli or whatever. Could we just stand up there and move our lips and strum the thing? And I don't think that would work for the old fat guy. You know, I don't know.
Hey, if you sang like Vern Gosdin, they might go for that.
Oh, wow. Give me a break. Hell, I just barely can talk like him, you know. Guys, we are having too much fun. And honest to goodness, the LS Fest has gotten so big, so fast. What about this event? Is this cool or what?
It's impressive. I really think, when I got here today, I was shocked at how many people were here. Because last year, there was a lot of people, but I think it looks doubled at least from last year. It's really impressive.
It's amazing. I mean, I do a lot of stuff for Holly. They're one of our sponsors on this show, and we do a lot of events, the Tri-Fives, the NHRA stuff, the Hot Rod Reunion, all of those things.
I love the Hot Rod Reunion. That's one of my favorite. You come up here and you get to see like the vintage drags and stuff too. All those cars, it's amazing. I met Jungle Pam.
Well, I had Pam in your seat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know Pam. And
I love all those old photos. They're so good.
Oh yeah, but the photos are probably better than now. You know, but no, she's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. Pam, don't you listen to our show? Don't you get on me? But anyway, you get to go back in time a little bit, you know, and really that's what you're building. You're going back in time, but you're going back with today's modern stuff.
Yeah, you know what? This was my grandfather's truck. I learned to drive in this truck on my grandpa's farm. This was something that I've loved since I was a little kid. And he told me when he moved off the farm, he says, I don't have any use for it anymore, and I want you to do whatever you want to do with it. And so we cut the long bed off, made it a short bed, and making it a hot rod.
Well, you need to use it on your next album cover.
I'm gonna, believe me.
I thought you might.
Yes, sir.
And that makes it, guys. My guest here is a very talented gentleman. You go buy his records, download them from YouTube. He needs a little extra cash to finish his truck.
As you see, it's not finished. It's still sitting here unfinished.
Yeah, I know, but we're trying to help you, buddy. Hey, the old guys at Event Radio are trying their heart out to help you.
I appreciate you more than you
man,
know.
I tell you what. Well, you can send us that tip later under the
All right, I got you.
No, I tell you what, guys. This gentleman is a true talent, and he's a talent both on and off the stage because he's a daggone nice guy for me to just get to talk to.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm a nice person, okay? Holly pays us a lot, buddy. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, Mr. James Otto, thank you, sir.
Thank you
so much.
My pleasure.
We look forward to you rocking the house.
I'm going to do it.
And we know you're going to.
I'm going to go out there and try to make that kind of noise they're doing out there.
I'll tell you what, we did a radio show and rode in one of them live.
Oh, man, I want to try.
So you think we're not crazy?
I want to get in one of them drift cars. That looks like fun.
Do you want in one?
I do want in one.
Will you believe I can get that done for you?
I bet you probably could.
I guarantee you I can.
I bet you. I'd like to do that.
Well, I don't know. You probably got too much star power to be in. Guys, the one and only. And we find the true heroes of these events, and we for sure have found the most talented gentleman here on the grounds, and he's going to rock the house a little later. Mr. James Otto, look him up on YouTube, look him up on anywhere, download his stuff off of iTunes, and he'll appreciate it, and you'll be entertained from the minute you start until you stop. Guys, you're on Event Radio. We're having too much fun. The fun police are after us, and they may catch us.
We got to go.
We got to go. We'll be back, guys. See ya.
Quick Fuel Technology, the innovators in fuel systems, introduces the latest in high-temperature coating technology for select street and performance carburetors. QFT's new Black Diamond series.
Black Diamond.
features a unique satin black Teflon coating that provides award-winning good looks and lasting durability. The Black Diamond series is impact resistant, repels all underhood chemicals, and reduces fuel temperature by 6% for improved performance. The Black Diamond series by Quick Fuel, the ultimate in form and function.
All right, guys, we are back from Summer Nights Cruise in Somerset, Kentucky, and we have the star of the show here with us, a gentleman that when I grew up, and that's going to make you sound old, but we really won't say that, but one of my honest-to-goodness favorite shows on TV ever, The Munsters, and we have Mr. Butch Patrick with us, which played Eddie on that show, and buddy, you entertained a ton of people.
Yeah, I got very lucky to hook up with the Munsters at an 11-year-old age, and the show's just been going good for 50 years.
Well, hey, it's good. It's a good show.
Yeah.
You know, I never could get into the Addams Family. I think that was a spinoff of you guys, and I really don't know who was first, but I never got into that. The Munsters was always a cool, entertaining show.
Well, you know, the Addams Family, we were on Thursday nights. They came on Friday nights, so theoretically we came on 24 hours before they did. But they were based on a very dark comedy cartoon series in the New Yorker, and they had very dark humor. We were very friendly. They were like, in fact, I tell people it's very easy to differentiate. We were monsters. They were monsters that looked like people. We were people that looked like monsters.
Yes, there you go. Well, evidently you've grown out of it, sir. You look okay, you know.
You.
But that had to be a fun show. Let me ask you one question. When you're a child star like that, does that make it tougher to go on with a acting career because they expect you to be a kid forever?
Well, the casting directors sometimes do that. Yeah, you can't get, you know, they say typecasting, but I wasn't typecast because obviously I wasn't going around Hollywood in Eddie Munster makeup and regalia. But yeah, once you're a kid actor, it is kind of tough to transition into adulthood, no doubt.
Yeah, well, Tommy Ivo's a friend of mine, and so we're old drag racers and do radio just because we did drag racing, you know.
Yeah.
But he and I talked about that, and he said, after the Showboat thing, he said it was really tough. He said I got some stuff, but everybody wanted me to be who I was instead of who I am.
Yeah, when I was never really an actor. I was a kid that could act. It came easy to me. I never wanted to make a career out of it. I just wanted to get enough money to buy my race cars and turn 19 years old and just do it the way I want to do it. So. Unfortunately, when I turned 19, the money that I thought I was going to have wasn't quite as much as it didn't add up to as much as I thought that would be there. I could buy my funny car, but I couldn't campaign it, so I decided not to go down that direction.
Well, I did that too. I ran an alcohol funny car for years.
Okay.
So when did you do that? I wasn't aware of that.
71, 72. At that time, I was going to the track with Jack Christman.
Okay, sure.
And hanging out at Keith Black's shop with Perdome and McEwen and all the guys. And I mean, it was really a good time to be around funny cars because the nicknames and you had Gas Ronda and Dino Don and Fast Eddie and Jungle Jim and the list is on and on and on.
Oh, yeah.
But it was really a good time to go into the drags.
Yeah, well, I actually had Pam on this show at the Hot Rod Reunion. We do it every year.
Oh, really?
And yeah, she's cool. But my time came in 77. I ran an alcohol car in 77, and Dale Armstrong and I were buddies.
Very good.
And matter of fact, he did the motors in my car. That's the only reason it ran good.
Yeah, well, you got to have a good motor.
Oh, you got to have a guy that knows what he's doing, not a dummy from Kentucky that hasn't got a clue. You having fun doing the car show stuff?
When I purchased these cars about 5 months ago, I had done a lot of car shows with George Barris with his cars, and I'm a gearhead, so yeah, it's a good fit for me. And then the gentleman sitting in front of us built these cars as replica cars. He and I worked together. He wanted to sell them, and I said, I'll take that on, and I'll go on the road for a couple of years to not only celebrate the Munsters' 50th anniversary, but also to hook up with the cars and do more car events.
Are you amazed the amount of people that remember you and know who you are?
Well, yes, to answer that, yes. But what's really funny is a lot of the promoters, when I come into town, they're the ones that are surprised. They go, we knew you had a draw, but we had no idea how big a draw you'd be.
Oh, listen, that show, it was just different enough to be so cool. And every young person, you'd miss date night to watch that, because it was fun. Like taking the cars to the drag strip. You all did stuff that the average public could relate to. you know.
Yeah, it was a good time for comedy in general. The '60s were very good. You know, you had talking horses and witches and genies and Martians and
Yeah.
everything. Everything was really wide open, and you had a lot of great comedic talent going into television. Fred and Al were a very, very good comedy team. We had Yvonne DiCarlo, a major movie star, stepping into television to be the other half of the family unit. You know,
Yeah.
And then you had a beautiful blonde that we thought was unfortunately ugly.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, that's the one thing you were wrong on, buddy.
No, I mean that was the whole joke of the show.
I know.
Her boyfriend's always running away, and her thinking it's her. You know.
Yeah, but it was. I want to thank you not only for taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio, but thank you for the countless hours of entertainment that you provided for me growing up, because I loved the show. When they called us and asked us to come to Summer Nights Cruise, which we do once a year, you know. And they said that you guys are going to be here. I said, hell, I'm in, period, no matter what it takes.
Thanks so much.
This is cool, and it is my pleasure and my honor to get to meet you, sir. And thank you for just all the cool stuff.
Hey, how can you go wrong with a guy that's got a Rat Fink keychain?
Hey, buddy, we're in there. We're in there, you know. We lived the wrong era, I think. Or maybe we lived the right era.
Well, you know, just imagine him signing up. Imagine what it was like to be an 11-year-old kid and go down to George Barris' shop once a week just to see what he was up to in the mid-'60s.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And some of those cars and the creations that he did, he was a genius.
It really was.
And I sat and watching Barrett Jackson, and I watched this guy pay, what, $4.5 million for the Batmobile?
Rich campaign, yeah, 4.6.
Wow. Yeah. You know, I bet he thought, you know, this thing might bring 4,600 when I get it done, you know, when he did it back years ago.
Yeah.
But he was a very talented gentleman, and or still is, I guess. And he controlled hot rodding a lot. And I've had the fortune of talking to several of the guys that in that era actually did radio in that era.
Mm-hmm.
And the radio played a real big part in the car culture.
Sure.
Because you had Wolfman Jack, you had all those guys.
The guys in those cars were listening to music.
Oh, that's all you had, buddy. You didn't have the MP3 players and the cell phones and the iPads and you know, all that stuff. So what's Butch Patrick into for the next 4 or 5 years?
Well, this is one of the things I'm doing. I have a project with Roku, which is the new, smart TVs and internet programming. We have a thing called scareitforward.org where we're doing public domain horror movies, giving them away. Product placement pays for them, and then I also have America's Scariest Videos, which will be another channel. It's kind of like network programming was 50 or 60 years ago, in its infancy. And I was lucky enough to hook up with a guy that's got a really good footprint in it. So we're going to be doing some programming on the Roku channel.
Well, you may be familiar with a gentleman that was my best buddy in grade school.
Mm-hmm.
A fellow by the name of John Carpenter.
Oh, yeah, of course.
John and I were in the same class.
Yeah.
And we were best buddies. He is from Bowling Green, Kentucky, where I am from.
Okay.
And we had a blast. And I told him, I said, buddy, the only dumb move you've made is divorcing Adrienne Barbeau, because she was a hot, hot deal. You know? But John's a nice fella, and he's a brilliant horror mind,
I've seen him at many of the shows. I do a lot of. And one of the things about the Munsters, which is interesting, is it allows me to go to car shows, to tattoo conventions. It goes to Comic Cons and horror conventions because it fits into so many different things, not to mention the collectible memorabilia world.
Oh, of course. Let me tell you a cute Carpenter story, and I won't bug you.
Okay.
He spent the night at my house. We would stay at each other's homes. Mm-hmm. Of course, his dad was a professor at the college, and they lived in a log cabin on the campus. Okay. But he came to my house, and we'd just hang out and have the biggest time. Well, when you're a kid, there's certain things that you save, and you don't know why you save it. I had saved a chocolate rabbit from Easter, and I had it in my dresser drawer. Well, John got hungry in the middle of the night, and he just got up and ate the damn head off my rabbit, Well, we had the biggest war in the world.
Yeah.
So he came back to Bowling Green to sign a book, and I hired a guy in a tux and tails with a silver tray and delivered him a rabbit on stage, a chocolate rabbit.
There you go.
The next Halloween, October 31st, I go to my mailbox. I don't know how he pulled this off. I go to my mailbox. I get a letter out addressed from him. I open the letter. Here is a Snoopy cartoon, and the only thing on the cartoon says, "I still don't forgive you over the rabbit."
That's good.
But that's John. Yeah. That's John. Listen, my friend, thank you for being here at Summer Nights Cruise. Thank you for entertaining the countless people that you have entertained in your life, and we don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Not at all. Thanks so much.
Thank you for being with us. Guys, we are at Summer Nights Cruise, Somerset, Kentucky. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We will come and get you. Well, guys, what about that? Can you boy, do you believe these guys? There are so many of them that are so cool that Event Radio is humbled. We get to go talk to them and pull up next to them, and, man, they meet us with open arms. It's hard to believe that as many microphones as they get stuffed in their face all the time, that they are as nice and as humble and so genuine. And I think that's because they're car guys. They're not just total celebrities, but they're one of us, and I think that is so cool. As always, we never end a broadcast without thanking our sponsors. They are absolutely the coolest people on the planet. The great guys at Beach Bend Park, Beach Bend Raceway, and Beach Bend Splash Lagoon, which has just improved an additional $4 million expansion to Splash Lagoon, as well as paving all the entire facilities at the racetracks. Man, this place is cool. This place is nice. If you've never been, please do so. There are 20-some multi-day events we will be bringing you in 2016. The great guys at Holley Performance. If you can't find a part for your hot rod at Holley, you sure aren't trying to do anything to your hot rod. You can call those guys at Holley.com, talk to their tech guys, and they are great, and they will help you with whatever you may desire. Quick Fuel Technologies, how do you say anything better than these guys? They say it for themselves. At every race you go to, there are Quick Fuel cars everywhere. You see the stickers everywhere. The guys that are winning, that's the carburetors that are on their vehicles. And trust me, Marvin and Angela and all the guys, Tony and all the guys, even down to Beetlejuice if you want to talk to him, the guys at Quick Fuel are absolutely fabulous. Zach and Big Phil, and just, I haven't omitted anybody on purpose. Everybody there is cool. They're just great people. They build the best carburetors on the planet, bar none. Quickfuel.com, check them out. And if you want to go fast, that's where you need to go. The great guys at Final Finish, what do you say about those guys? They build award-winning show cars. Earl's 55, of course, one of their showpieces that has never lost a car show. And a Mike's Manship, she's real fine, my 409. They have more cars in the works. They have a spray paint booth big enough to spray a semi-truck in. And so, guys, trust me, whether it's truck, trailer you need done, or if you need just a simple little powder coating job, the guys at RC Components trust every piece that they make to Final Finish to powder coat all of their stuff. And there is no better company. They're on Gardner Lane in Morgantown. Check them out. You will be thrilled that you went there. Last but not least, my good buddy Jimmy B at GearheadGazette.com. Man, what do you say about that outfit? Everything you want to go that's cool, you find out who, what, when, and where by simply going to GearheadGazette.com. What a great, great deal and a great service that it's a freebie to you guys. All you got to do is get on the computer, GearheadGazette.com, and you can find all the cool stuff that's going on all year long. Well, guys, as always, we appreciate you listening to Event Radio more than you know, and we're going to try to keep bringing you the best of the best, and this show with our superstars, we think is one of them. Thank you again for joining us, as you always do, and we will talk again.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.